Which way?
Oh, Mum, let's go back.
Shh. Listen.
Come on, Flora, look at issue like this. You'll have nobody behind us. I am telling you, you'll have nobody behind us. Come on, boys. Will Morgan says that this is not a matter of principle. Well, I say it is. If this is how they treat our elected representatives, how are they going to treat us? Got him, boys. Are you
Yes,
going to let
Mauro, what are they doing to him? No!
Mum!
No, Hugh! Hugh, go back! Go back! Hugh! Hugh, go back! Go back! Ah! Hugh!
Beth, what are you... Beth, I told you not to come to this place.
Gwilym and Hugh. He's down there.
Hugh?
No! No, don't go that way. It's not safe. We'll have to go round.
Welcome to Cavalier.
Thank you.
Oh, you haven't met my wife?
I
Beth!
don't think so. Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Morgan. That's a fine family you've got.
We enjoyed your sermon, Mr. Gruffydd. Really lovely it was.
Thank you.
Come, Beth. Not bad at all for someone not used to the place. I noticed there was a lot about sinners being forgiven and very little about them being judged. You want to be careful not to encourage them, Mr. Gruffydd. You will find that's the last thing they need around here.
Yeah? Yes.
Well, little Darby's in the dark here very near.
Come on.
Like the lamp, Yanto.
Doing it, ma'am.
What was the new preacher like?
Oh, not bad at all.
Lovely.
Hey, first class.
You went on long enough. That wasn't him. That was the deacon showing off.
Well, where's Ivor gone off to now, then?
Oh, not gone off to now. He only came with us as far as the corner.
Well, this is getting beyond, this is. Surely he's not going to miss his supper again. He's not eating enough to keep a bird alive. And the way he came in last night, walking back over the mountains in the pitch black, soaked to the skin. Third time in a week, no sense or reason in it.
What does he go over to the Ronda for all the time?
Well, I don't know, indeed, Bach.
Well, why don't we ask him?
Well, he'll tell us, I suppose, in his own good time.
Dad, Mum, I've brought somebody to meet you. Is it all right?
Yes, all right. Why do you have to take your tie off the minute you get back in the house?
All right now, man.
Will you come in, please? Dad, this is Mr. Price. Keeps a grocer shop in Mardy.
All right. Well, how are you, sir?
I'm very well indeed. There's Chilly. It is getting the evenings again.
Aye, aye.
Mum, this is Mr. Price. He's Bronwyn's father.
Who's Bronwyn?
Mr. Price. We don't have a cooked supper on Sundays, but there's plenty of cold meat and beetroot and pickled onions. And there's pears and custard and tish and lap. Now, you sit down by here while I make a nice cup of tea.
Oh, thank you very much, Mrs. Morgan.
Now, give me a bowl of a surprise. Now, make yourself at home now.
Yes, I will indeed, thank you. Yes, indeed.
I don't know, we fill 6 strands.
Well, there you are, then.
Aye, but he's on a different heading, isn't he?
The cracker's one of them. You can't blame everything on the management, Sian.
Who the hell are you going to blame it on, man?
It was up to the nightmare to stand a pair of timber before they went off.
Now, look, if Reese had enough bloody sense, and enough...
All right, Yunto, now. That's enough.
Someone knocking, ma'am.
Bringing that quarter of tea back in about time. What's the matter with her? The door's open. Come on in, Maggie. Oh, it's Bronwyn. Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice. Are you Angharad?
Yes. Bronwyn?
Yes.
Oh. And me.
Of course, and you. You know, those old legs of yours coming along, didn't he?
Oh, getting better, thanks.
Do you like lotions?
Yes, please.
You'll be staying to tea now, is it?
Oh, yes, please. Can I help?
No, not the first time. And not in that pretty frock. Oh, come over by here and tell me how that big boy of mine ever got hold of somebody like you.
Well, he was in Maddie for a choir competition and he came in the shop for some eggs. Just 2, see, for his voice.
Yes, I know. Raw. He believes in that.
Well, I said they come cheaper by the half dozen.
Oh, give me a clean shirt, will you? I'm going to Maddie.
I don't think you are, boyo.
Oh, I'd like to see anyone try and stop me.
I know just who's gonna do it and all.
Oh, for shame, girl, kissing a man with no shirt on. And you're worse than she is. Have sense, boy, in front of the child.
Well. Bronwyn, is it?
Yes, Mr. Morgan.
Well, welcome to our house indeed. Do. I don't think I've seen a prettier sight since the first day I came to the valley and saw Jones, the manager's maid, outside sweeping the step.
Oh, get on with you. Soft old thing.
Boswell's Life of Johnson. Can you read this, Hugh?
Yes, Mr. Gruffydd.
Isn't it a bit heavy going for a little boy?
No, it's good.
Huh? Who taught him to read, Mr. Morgan?
Well, he's had a couple of years schooling, see, and his teacher pops in now and again to give him some sums to do.
How long will it be before Hugh can walk again? Forgive me, but you must have had doctors. What did they say?
Ah, well, we did have Dr. Richards at the time.
What he said was that...
Mrs. Morgan, this is a very intelligent little boy you have here. And it is his life we are talking about. Now, I believe he has a right to know what he can or cannot do with it. Now, if you will tell us what Dr. Richards said, we will make up our minds how far to believe him.
Well, what he said was that nature must take its course.
It's a handy phrase for a doctor to carry in his little black bag. Apt for all occasions, and no danger will ever be proved wrong. Hugh, do you know what nature is?
I thought it was plants and animals.
Well, that's right. And light and heat and crystals and stars and volcanoes and the law of gravity and all the rules about how things work. But somebody made up the rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nature is the handmaiden of the Lord. I remember once or twice when she's been ordered to hurry herself up more than usual. Now listen, Hugh. I am going to come and visit you every day. And next spring, when the first daffodils come out in the mountains, you are going to be up there picking them. That is a promise.
Bloody terrible storm, hold on now. I had a tram nearly full this morning and 2 tramloads of bloody ribbons came right down on top.
I had to stand an 8-foot cog first thing this morning.
And Di Davis took 4 trams to the Muckle yesterday.
I'm going to call a meeting of the check committee.
Oi, you heard the news? What? He's the overman. He kicked the bucket funeral Sunday. Never. Aye, I just heard now, man. Blood poisoning. Damn, that was quick. Only last Saturday was pitching into me for unloading muck at the heading. The job for you, Yant.
They wouldn't touch a union man with a barge pole. Just wondering who they are going to pick up.
I know some people who'll be crawling around the manager. Yeah. Aye, Bando. Aye, nice cushy job. Bit of extra money. Yeah, well, aye. Chance of you finding it.
Morgan, Yanto.
I'm back.
Right. Here he is. No more excuses. Say good night to him, Gwilym.
No, not yet now.
Oh, why not then?
All in good time now. Put him down. Hang on, put your sewing away. Now, come on, all of you. Sit down. Come on now. I've got an item of news to read to you. Page 4, right at the top. Handwriting competition. Boys under 12 years of age. The first prize of 2 guineas has been awarded to Master Hugh Morgan, son of Mr. Gwilym Morgan, for an entry of outstanding merit. There! Not bad for a boy who's been lying there for 3 years and never a grumble out of him.
Well, there's a clever boy then.
Oh, you won't sly, and you never even told us.
Bendigedig, diolch iddo, bendig.
He's the first one in the family to have his name in the paper. Well, give me that now.
Where are you going off to
I'm just going to show this to a couple of people.
Oh, Harriet, there's a comfort you are. Oh, there won't be a minute. I'm just going to run in and tell Maggie next door.
Listen, boy. How would you like a job?
Job?
But I've been racking my brain. See, who can I get to write out letters from the union?
To who?
All sorts of managers, councillors, solicitors, lecturers, stuff like that. Oh, they look a lot better with nice writing and all them commas and full stops done right. And I'll pay you, mind.
No need.
Oh, yes, fair play. Then you can save up and help to pay for a holiday when you get to walk better.
What'll Dada say?
It's no odds to him, is it? It's union business, private.
Why are you against him, Yanto?
I'm not against him. It's he's against me over this.
Well, what does he want then? Different from you?
It's not over what we want, see. It's over how we get it. Dad thinks, know your place, keep your nose clean, say please and thank you tidy, and they'll treat you right. I say if you don't stand up to the flamers, they'll walk all over you. And they walked over him too once or twice when he stuck his neck out a bit too far. Only now they think they've got him in their pockets.
Hello, Tom. You bought another whippet, is that right?
Aye.
Is it jealous you are, or what? If they have picked you a father for Overman, it is only because he's the best man for the job. As many would have given their eye teeth for it.
Aye. And that's just the point, isn't it?
What is?
What was the matter with Bob Howells? Why didn't they pick him? Oh, Tom Davies.
Well, why should they? They wouldn't have done it any better than your father.
And no worse neither. And they are senior to him, but they were passed over. It's never been done before, and everybody knows why it was done this time.
Why then?
It was done as a slap in the face to me.
Oh,
because I am Lord Secretary of the Union. And they've heard that he is against it, and they want to make it awkward for me any way they can.
Oh, don't be so childish, Yanto. I'm sure such an idea never entered their heads.
Well, I can name you 200 or 300 who think differently.
Oh.
Has the minister called today?
Yes, he was here for about 20 minutes.
Is you showing any progress?
Mr. Gruffydd walked him round the room twice.
Is he walking on his own at all? That's the point.
Mr. Gruffydd says...
I know what Mr. Gruffydd says. I'm altogether happy about it. He's a minister, not a doctor. He should know there are some things that have been put up with and faced. I think it's wicked to go around raising false hopes in people.
Perhaps it's more wicked to go about telling people to lie down under things that needn't be put up with and didn't ought to be put up with.
Ishtoy.
I don't remember asking for your opinion.
I would think that he has the right to speak it all the same.
Not in that tone of voice and not at my table. And I don't want pit matters brought into this house.
Dad, Dad, he was talking about him.
I know what he was talking about. Do you think I'm a fool?
Gwilym. Owen. Tell Dada you're sorry.
I'm sorry if I sounded rude. But if it's rude to say the things are wicked, it wasn't me started saying it.
I won't leave the table.
I'll leave the house! Come on, calm down, boyo. Nothing was said at all, fair enough. The trouble is when one side can make statements, but the minute we open our mouths, that's all wrong.
Ah, there's your trouble. I know that Owen wouldn't have said a thing like that if he hadn't been put up to it. Now, Yunto, you get out of this room before I do something I'm sorry for.
Like a shot and all, and don't you worry. And out of the house and all, and that makes two of us.
Oh, aye? And if you two leave this house, you'll never come back inside it again.
Good!
Gwilym, don't let them.
He hadn't been down the pit 5 minutes, and he thought he knew more about it than men who had been there for 20 years.
But 20 years ago it was different, wasn't it?
Oh, aye, were you there 20 years ago?
No.
Then what gives you the right to talk?
Dad, everybody's got the right to talk. Especially when they're doing men's work and earning men's money.
And I've got the right to a bit of respect in my own house.
Oh, no one is denying that.
Well, all right then. Well, if they just sit down and behave themselves for the rest of the meal, we'll forget all about it.
Come on, Owen, you're a good boy. Sit down. Your father's going to overlook it. He knows you didn't mean it.
Ma'am, I said nothing that needs to be overlooked, and I meant every word of it.
Yanto, please. Sit down and behave tidy now, just till we've finished eating.
Depends what he means by behave. If table manners means that we are not allowed to speak the truth here, then I'd rather be a pig.
All right, then, finish. Now get your clothes and go.
Ivor.
No, not Ivor. Gwilym, stop him.
If he thinks that they're in the right, he can go too.
Sorry, Ma'am. It'll be better if I go with them. Sorry, Dad.
Yes, yes, my son. I know that you were there.
Gwilym, where do you suppose those boys are going to go? And how long are they going to be from home?
Boys? What boys? This is my boy, Beth, this one by you. They gave up being boys years ago, you heard them. So it's none of my business where they go.
Gwilym! And where do you think you are going, my girl?
Mum, I'm going after them.
Sit down! You are going nowhere.
I suppose you know where they are?
Oh, well, there's plenty of neighbours ready to pass on news like that.
Do you know anything about this woman they've taken lodgings with?
Widow, we were told.
Widow?
Have you been there, Bron?
Of course I've been there. Oh, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Ivor wants us to get married in a month.
What did you tell him?
Mrs. Morgan, I'd have said yes anyway, but more than ever now. I'd marry him tomorrow to get him out of a place like that.
But where will you get married from? Your dad can't do the wedding. Men are no good for anything like that.
Yes, well, that's the trouble, isn't it? We had thought once it could have been from here.
Yes. So did I. Well, aren't you going to stay to eat?
No, thank you. Goodbye, Mr. Morgan. Ivor sends you his love. I'm going to see him now.
Bron, wait a minute. I'm coming.
Gwilym, Mam Harad has fetched her clothes and gone.
Gone? Gone where?
Down Bynan's, of course. I couldn't stop her. To look after the boys because nobody else is doing it.
Well, I'll go and have a word with her.
First, you will have a word with me.
Now get out of my way, Beth.
Please to listen to me, Gwilym, or there may be a couple more missing by the time you get back.
Well?
Look what she brought back from there now, just. Look! Yanto socks. Look! A wen shirt. Filthy, achavi. And Gareth says the sheets on their bed are fit for shurags. And God only knows what she's feeding them. She's got blowflies buzzing round the pantry as big as black pats. She gets every night too drunk to stand and language like an old Rodney on her. And one of the men in her back room have been summoned for stealing 3 gold watches from out of a jeweller's in Ponty.
Well, I'm not having Angharad living in a place like that.
Will, I'm not having any of them in a place like that.
The boys can choose for themselves, but why they should choose to live in dirt is beyond me. But I've given up trying to understand them.
Choose? What choose? With people coming from all over the country looking for jobs? Must they dig coal all day and tramp the streets all night hunting for apartments and a good home here waiting for them?
Oh, Beth, I can see that you are on their side. But I'm getting Angharad out of there.
Nobody's side. You're all driving me mad here. Nobody's side. Only peace.
Boys still at Bylands? Huh? I had a bit of your mum's blackberry tart once. What about it? Oh, nothing. It's just that any flamer who could put his feet on your mum's table goes and puts them under Sissy Bylands. Well, I mean, he can't be 16 ounces.
You want to watch out, mind. Leave it too long and she won't have any room left for you.
Why not? You do. They haven't heard yet, man.
Well, it's no odds to them anymore, is it? I mean, if their mum wants to take in lodgers, well, that's her business.
Well, now, you tell that the son has moved in now, gets on very well with the old man, you know.
Yeah, but...
Uh-huh.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, just in time to eat it while it's hot. Fetch another chair from the front room, will you?
Hello.
Oh, wait. Now you sit down by there.
Hello.
All right, Tinto. Nobody's going to bite your head off.
Now then, before I say grace, there's something that has to be said. Ivor, Yunto, Owen, it was your decision to leave this house. And if you come back, well, that's your decision too. But bear in mind that I haven't asked you. But it's your mum who gets the worst of it when there's bad blood in the house. So, I promised her to have you back. On one condition.
And what is that?
We are all to be lodgers here.
Well, how can you be a lodger?
When I cannot be a father. Because a father is one whose word is obeyed, and mine is not. So I shall pay my way, and you're free to do the same. And your mother will look after you and look after me. Now, that's all there is to it.
Dad, there was no need of this. Your word always carried in everything to do with the house and the family. All we were saying was that we wanted...
Yanto. Angharad? Now, if this is supposed to be a boarding house, and I am supposed to be the one running it, then I am making the rules. And one of them is, no arguing round the table.
Yes, ma'am. Is Bronwyn coming then?
Not that I know of.
Come on, Merchi.
Right. We thank you, Lord, for the food on our table. Amen.
Amen.
Dad, I don't think any of them know her.
Well, if somebody would pull the curtains back, we'd have a better chance of finding out.
Well, you do know or whatever.
Well, aye. You remember Mog Evans, top house? Used to be my buddy.
Oh, aye, and moved to Treorchy.
Yes, well, their house fell over down by there with subsidence. And this is their Margaret, and she's going to spend a few weeks with us.
Now then, Margaret, what do you have? Bit of the leg or the wing?
Anything, Mr. Morgan, please.
Have a nice wing.
Well, how about the parson's nose, eh?
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone?
Only joking he was, man.
Well, if there's any joking to be done, perhaps you'll have it out on me.
See now, look at the scowl on him. All over nothing, too. Take it off, man. You'll burn a hole in the tablecloth.
Never mind the tablecloth. She's a guest in the house, right?
Now, come on now, Owen, you're making too much of it. Now, she's bound to find it strange at first. Being an only child, not used to so much company. But you took it no harm. And Margaret didn't take any offence, did you, Margaret?
No, Mr. Morgan.
There. Now, come on now.
My mother always used to say of us when we wandered off, leave them alone. They'll always come to the manger.
Oh, Mr. Gruffydd, is it today then?
Well, today's as good as any, isn't it? Where's your clothes, then?
Got them cut under here. I mean, they're all week. Oh, Hugh, they're all in creases.
Oh, does it matter?
I suppose they'll even fit him now.
Well, let's try then, shall we? Come on then, boy.
Right. Here we go. Thank you. Well, what about this?
Oh, I should leave it, wouldn't you? Nothing better than flannel and his jacket on top. Oh, and a muffler in case it's windy up there, eh? What do you say? Hey, what's the matter?
I practiced every day, like you said. And last night, when they were all out, I walked from there to there 10 times. I've never done more than 8 before. But nothing's happened. I'm sure I'll never get up the mountain. I'm sorry.
Hugh, listen. It's not true to say nothing's happened. It's been happening every day for months. If you were looking for a miracle, you looked right past it and never even noticed it. But it's not going to happen overnight, is it? Now, 6 months ago, your mother and father were sure you would never walk again. Now, only last Sunday, they asked me how long I thought it would be before you could start school again.
School again?
Well, of course, why not? Well, maybe by the beginning of the next school year. And if not, certainly by Christmas. Do you believe me?
You said he'd be picking daffodils, though.
Well, of course he'd be picking daffodils.
Well, how will he get up there?
Oh, by the grace of God and a bit of help from me. I'm going to carry him.
I can see him.
Who?
The lark. Up there, can you see? Tiny little dot.
Your eyes are better than mine.
Look, there's Angharad.
Where?
Come on up. Shall I?
Yes, come on.
Oh, there's lovely. For our mum, is it? Yes, most of them.
Who's that little bunch for, Hugh?
Oh, no need to ask him that. For the prettiest girl in Glamorgan, isn't it, Hugh? They're for Bronwen.
I see. The prettiest girl in Glamorgan.
It used to be so pretty here.
Why, they're spoiling everything.
Yes. All that tip's come since I was here last.
Oh, it's nothing but blind greed. The earth has enough for everyone, if we treat it right. But these men can't wait. They want all, take all, and put nothing back. I'm afraid they're laying up trouble for themselves.
Come in. What's the matter?
I've done a terrible thing.
What happened?
They're all gone out. There's a prayer meeting. And I was staying in to make a bit of supper and I dropped it. Look, and it broke.
It's nothing. It's been loose a long time.
What will she say?
Nothing, because I'm going to mend it now. Easy.
I'm supposed to be in there with you.
Yeah, well, I'll be wanting somebody to hold a piece of solder for me.
Oh, I'd better stay here then, is it?
Yeah, all right.
You're out here a lot, aren't you?
Well, it's quieter out here. Dodge all the old arguments.
What's this thing?
It's for Kerry Pencarth. It's a sickle I'm making for him.
It's clever. Owen, what's a perpetual motion machine?
Yanto told you about that, did he?
Yes. Why?
Something he teases me about because I tried to make one.
I bet you will too one day. And Harrod says you do invent a lot of things.
I get a lot of ideas, but for most of them you need money.
Wish I had some.
What for?
So I could give it to you.
Baguette.
Mend it quick, Owen. They'll be back before long.
I wish they'd never come back.
I'd better go in.
No, I'll be wanting you in a minute.
I forgot.
In fact, I'm wanting you all the time.
Oh, you mustn't say that.
I can't help it if it's true. Everywhere I look, I see your face. Margaret, you are so beautiful.
Who, me? No.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I was.
I love your face. I love your voice. I love everything about you. I love you, Margaret.
But how can you? Only 5 days you've known me.
5 minutes was enough. Margaret, I've only been playing at all this, but now I'm going to go white hot at it. And when I sell all my inventions and get rich, you shall have everything your heart desires. All beautiful things, lovely clothes, no need to work about the house or anything.
What house?
Our house. When we're married. We must get married, Margaret, so that you belong to me, nobody else. I can look after you always, all my life, and you'll be happy every minute. I'll stab myself for every tear.
Oh, there's nice things you say.
When will you marry me?
I'll have to ask Dada.
Margaret. Oh, Margaret.
Gwilym, wilt thou take this woman to be thy wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love her and comfort her, keep and honour her in sickness and in health, and keep thee only unto her so long as ye both shall live?
I will.
Bronwyn Meyer, wilt thou take this man to be thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony?
There's beautiful she looked. Her mother would have been so proud.
No, a little bit, tiny bit. That will do for you, man.
Maggie gave for the crew it set. It was Auntie Sarah gave the pillow kisses.
Well, I thought he'd done better when they played him scrum half.
There's a lot of standing you've had to do. You sure now you're all right?
Fine, thanks. Didn't mind some to eat, though.
Would you like me to... Oh, there's still 1 or 2 to come in.
I'm glad you like that. That is the recipe for Gareth.
I'd say you've done them proud.
Well, it's always a relief when everything goes off all right.
You! That's who I'm talking to! Cheeky young devil! I don't have to take orders from you!
Don't you try to talk to me like that, or by God, I'll thrash the living daylight out of you!
Come on then, try it!
Oh, I'll do more than try it. If I catch you near my daughter again...
Hey, what the hell's going on here?
You ask him what's going on. I thought this was supposed to be a decent, respectable house here.
What's the matter? Now, what's he talking
Now,
about?
calm down, Mr. Evans.
Would you calm down? Damn good thrashing, that's what he wants.
Ah, shut your mouth.
Oh, hish, Janty, you're making it worse.
Well, he couldn't knock a hole in a rice pudding, could he?
Knock holes in that bloody little waster any day.
Mr. Evans, there's no need of language like that.
I will be the judge of that, and I'll trouble you to mind your own business.
Goodness gracious, what's all this shouting?
Mrs. Morgan, you will have to know it. I'm having my daughter from here right away.
No, you're not, then, because I won't come with you, so there.
That's the way to tell him, silly old fool.
Yanto, I'm ashamed of you. Say you're sorry to Mr. Evans.
No, ma'am.
Gwilym, it's a terrible thing to happen.
Well, all right, let's find out exactly what did happen, man.
Your son was in the pantry with my daughter.
Oh, aye? And what was he doing?
We don't want to go into all that. His arm was about her waist.
He was kissing her.
Dear. Against your wishes, was it, Margaret?
No, Mr. Morgan, I wanted him to. Because I love him and we're going to be married.
Oh, well, that puts a different complexion on it altogether. I didn't know.
Nor did we even until this minute, but we'd be very happy to have Margaret into the family.
Sorry about the first, Gwilym, but you can't be too careful about these things.
It's all right now. Now then, Yanto, you say you're sorry and everything will be squared away. Come on now, Yanto, man.
I am not sorry for saying what I said the way he was then. But if I said it the way he is now, I would be very sorry indeed, Mr. Evans.
Aye. Well, that's about the best we'll get from that quarter boy. Have a drink.
Just say good night. We're going soon. Oh, and congratulations, by the way. She's a very pretty girl.
So everybody seems to think.
Why then? Don't you want them to?
Have you seen the way they look at her?
Well, she can't help them looking, can she?
They don't look at Bron like that.
Oh, well, Bron's a bit different, I suppose.
Yes, I know. Bron's like our mam, so you're all right. How do I know what Margaret is like?
Well, it'll take you a lifetime to find that out. There must be millions of kinds.
Only two that matters. One's like Mam and Bron, and there's the other kind.
Ni trwy'n gofyn bywyd moethus, a'r y byd na'i berlau man. Gofyn rwyf am galon hapus, calon honest, calon lan. Calon honest, llawn daioni, tefan yw'n anili glos.
Just say good night to them for us.
Oh, well. First one gone.
Oh, Ma'am, go on. Only 6 houses away, isn't it?
You sure that old house won't be cold for you now?
No, I've laid a fire and I've asked Mrs. Hughes to go in and put a match to it.
She's got plenty of sense, this wife of yours.
And gaining a daughter, mind. And I'll call you Ma'am too now if you let me. I hardly remember my own.
We're not robbing you, are we, missus?
No.
Good, have been a lovely
it's only on brew, man.
We didn't expect anything like this, did we, Gareth?
Oh, just pop in, he said, and wish him luck, you know.
Oh, go, pull the other one, die. You're never far off if there's a good drink.
No. I wouldn't eat with some people. I wouldn't eat with some people if they had gold plates and whiskey coming out the taps. Oh. Well, he do look a bit lonely, but then, don't he?
Yeah, give out
Yucky da.
Right, check it out. And what about this one? Crochet Bailey, eh? Right. Ready? Right then. Crochet Bailey had an engine. It was always wanting mending. And according to its power, it could do 4 miles an hour. Did you ever see? Did you ever see? Did you ever see?
For shame on you, Gwilym Morgan! Do you know what time it is to be eating and drinking and carousing and entertaining prize fighters in your house? Is this how you look upon the sacrament of holy matrimony, an excuse for people making pigs of themselves?
Oh, give Mr. Elias a pint of warm brew, Beth.
No, indeed, I won't come tamping in here like that.
And shame on you two, giving your house over to the things I've been hearing about. Drunkenness and brawling and young girls not being safe under your roof.
How would you like a clout under your own?
Oh, no. Let me, Aunt. Let me, lovely
No,
boy.
no, come on now, come on. There'll be no fighting in this house. Now sit down, the lot of you.
As for you, Mr. Gruffydd, Your conduct is fit for a meeting of the deacons. I am surprised and deeply hurt to think that such a man has been teaching my children in Sunday school.
Mr. Elias, I'm sorry if you're hurting your good conscience by any conduct of mine. But you must remember that the man himself was at Cana. He even provided the best wine. Now, what exactly are you objecting to?
I never thought to see the day when I would hear a minister of the gospel stand up barefaced and say, what is objectionable about profaning the Sabbath day?
The Sabbath day?
Is that proof enough for you?
Oh, Mr. Elias, I was prepared to believe that you might have been misinformed. I thought that at least you had some serious charge to bring. But to come in here and work up all that venom over a petty, fogging little quibble like 3 minutes on the hands of a clock, that is indefensible. The letter killeth, Mr. Elias. It is the spirit that giveth life. There are too many of your kind around here, and too many in the chapel too, trying to get the whip hand there. But if they do it in Calvaria, it will be over my dead body. Now get out, Mr. Elias. Go on, get out.
I am going, but you'll be sorry.
Did you ever see such a funny thing before?
Was it my fault then?
Do you have to tell all those people for? I thought it was meant to be between the two of us.
Because he was going on at you. I wanted to make him see that it was all right.
Some of the lads were saying you must be in a hurry to make sure of it, telling everybody like that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. When he was having a talk with you for, he was saying he was going out with Bron 6 months before she let him kiss her.
I see. All right for you to want it, wrong for me. You didn't think that at the time?
It was the way they all laughed.
They were laughing at me too.
Thought I was going off my head. Wanted to jump in the river. Came back, looked through the curtains, and there you were by the piano as if everything was all right.
I thought it was, didn't I?
Singing away, talking and laughing with Diane Cyfartha. God only knows what the joke was. I've heard some of their wedding jokes.
If you think that they would talk dirty in your mother's house, or if you think that I would laugh at them if they did, then right enough, Owen Morgan. I think you are going off your head.
Been here all day? We've been looking everywhere. Mum's in a terrible stew.
I'm never going back in that house again.
Has our Owen been saying something?
I hate him.
Can't stay here all night.
Can if I like.
Catch your death, man.
I don't care.
Why don't I go and fetch your things? You'll have to look sharp to get home to Treorchy before dark.
I'm never going back there again either.
What?
It was my dad's fault. He spoils everything. I think after Owen saw him, he got to thinking I can't be much class. Anyway, they all expect me to come back engaged. What can I say?
You'll soon find somebody else.
No. He's the only boy I ever had. I don't know what to say to them, see?
You knew what to say to our Owen.
Not really. Up to this morning, he used to do all the talking and I just listened. Oh, God, it was like music.
Well, you're talking now, anyway.
That's because everything's spoiled and I don't care anymore what any of you think. I'll go to London. I'll be a lady's maid.
Oh, there won't be any more coaches today. You should have started this morning.
But I haven't got any money.
Now, have a think about this. If you don't let him see you've been crying, nobody's going to know whether he dropped you or you dropped him. Now, why should you be the one to run? Stay on a bit. Show him you don't give a damn. He might come round anyway.
I hate him.
If you want my opinion, our Owen's a bloody fool. Doesn't know when he's well off. And if he says anything to you while I'm there, out of the way, I'll let him have it sharp.
And I thought you were going to fetch Hugh. Then I saw that you'd gone out.
Well, there was still time, wasn't there?
No, the deacons had started by then.
They were all carrying chairs and plonking them down.
Well, he won't be long. You go home, Beth. I'll wait for him.
Come on, man.
Will my Sian Lewis step forward? Adulteress! Well may you be weeping, my Sian Lewis. Your lusts have found you out and you have paid the price of all women like you. Your body was the trap of the devil and you allowed temptation to visit you. Now you are bringing an illegitimate child into the world against the holy commandment of God. You are not fit to enter the house of the Lord. My Sian Lewis, do you admit your sin? If you wish to make your peace with the Eternal Father, you must answer, do you admit your sin?
Oh, there's sorry I am. I will never do it again.
Have you never heard that the sins of the father shall be visited
Stop it! Stop it! Cruel! It's cruel!
Silence, boy! You shouldn't be here at all. You're talking about things you know nothing about.
Yes, I do then.
She is a wicked girl.
Just because she let Chris Phillips take her up the mountain.
How dare you have the effrontery to stand up in front of this congregation of God-fear.
Scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites.
It is written in the Bible. If thine
But
eye...
it says first cast out the beam out of thine own eye.
Get him out of here.
Come on, Hugh.
Why aren't you saying all this to Chris Phillips then? Has he told Mum yet?
They're in the front room now.
Where's the girls?
He sent them out.
Well, Hugh, your father is very ashamed of you. I hear you've been saying some unheard of things down in Calvaria.
Yes, Mum.
Good. Good boy. Your mum is so glad she could scream.
Beth?
Well, it's time somebody told those sanctimonious humbugs. All the nastiness in their own minds, and they put it all off into some poor girl and start preaching about purity and sin, as if she was any different from the rest of us, except for worse luck and a bit less sense. They make me sick.
As bad as he is, girl.
Yes, Gwilym Morgan. And you are as bad as that pack down by there.
I can see now where they get it from. No wonder I'm rearing a nest of scorpions in this house. It's you, it is.
God, scratch.